Hey guys, it's David Elcoate here from devonpersonaltrainer.com. Just coming to you today with a little bit of a post about time. Now this is based around, we did a weight loss seminar at the place where I work at recently about a few supplement products and various other stuff, and one of the questions that came up frequently is it was addressing people that have very, very busy lifestyles, professionals, working mums, people like that, and it was always, the question that always came up, was how can I fit workouts in, or more commonly, it was more of a statement, I don't have time. So we're going to take a quick look at that today. One of the first things that comes out is it's almost like people just literally bang come out with the definition. They don't actually stop and think, quite simply, and I'll explain a little bit into that a little bit later on about threatening behaviour, but it's almost like anything that comes along and rocks the apple cart, woofed, this statement just comes out without anyone actually putting a little bit of logical thought behind it and just simply saying, I don't have time. Well, I'm going to call BS on that one. Okay, and we're going to look at why. First one is it comes down to prioritization. Looking at how you prioritize your activities. Forget time management. Time itself is a myth. We've all got the same 24 hours. In a day, we've all got the same 7 days a week, the same 365 days a year, etc., etc. We've all got the same amount of time. Every single human being on this planet, it's the one thing that we will never get back, time and energy. We all share the same thing, so it just literally comes down to how do you prioritize. Which activities do you prioritize above others? And it could literally be a simple question. Is this actually that important to me? If the answer is no, fine, let it go. It comes down to your own values, your own beliefs, what you think and feel is best to serve you at that given moment in time. If it really isn't the best thing for you, the exercise, the diet, fine, let it go. It's not a problem. It's done. Simple. Problem solved. If, however, it is, then start to look around that. Ask better questions. Why am I not prioritising this the way that I should be? If it is as important as I say, why am I not taking the required action? And you start to ask yourself different questions, and you'll start to get a different answer, which in turn will produce a different response, which will mean different actions will be taken. What we've also got to look at as well is, I've got a bit of a list here, is not understanding why. Why you want to do it. Why is that specific thing, that activity, the fitness, the nutrition, whatever that is, so important to you? What's your reason behind it? What's the real reason, that emotional reason? Obviously happiness is a big one. Do you not want to feel lonely? Do you want to feel loved? What is that real reason? Spend a little bit of time actually digging around your own brain, going inside first, then going without. Start to look at what it is going on behind the scenes. Pull back that curtain just a little bit and have a look. Quite simply because there's a cheesy little saying, I cannot remember where I picked it up, is if you've got a big enough why, you will overcome any how and achieve any what. And that's something that I do fundamentally believe to the very core of my being. So if your why is big enough, great enough, you understand it enough, you will actually overcome any how, any obstacle, any path. You will just set out and do it, and you will therefore achieve it. Now it could take a day, it could take a month, it could take 10 years, but it will be done. That's a state of knowing, and that's a different state to be in. And now, as I mentioned earlier, the other one is you're pre-programmed. You're pre-programmed to not like threat. Now that's any kind of threat. That could be physical threat, that could be mental threat. It's anything that your brain will deem as threatening to your current status. In this terms, homeostasis, it just means keeping everything the same. Regulating everything to keep it the same. Now if you've got something that will come along and, as I said earlier, rock the apple cart, that is deemed threatening to you, to your body, your brain, your entire personality, your physical and mental and emotional and spiritual being, and it shuts down. That's it. It just goes, oh, literally like, oh, okay, and closes down. Alright, and it will do anything and everything to get the fuck out of there. Alright, and that's where these little brain mouth statements come from. It's like, oh, threat, well, I don't like it. It's literally like that. It's the speed of thought, bang, done, out the mouth. Okay, rather than just taking a deep breath and actually logically, again, just a bit of structured thinking. You know, oh, okay, well, oh, I don't like it, you know, or I haven't got time. Well, why haven't I got the time? Well, it's because I've got this. Okay, is that really that important to me? What else could I be doing with it? You know, again, it comes down to that prioritization, but also looking at, well, why is it threatening to me? That time factor. What is it about that I perceive as threatening? Why am I certain that I've got no time? What about if I was certain that I had time? How would I feel then? What different actions would I be taking based on that? You know, look at ways to reduce that perceived threat. And I use the word perceived because the threat isn't always the thing. It's your perception of the threat that is normally the problem, but your brain, it's effectively, the way that I look at it is, instead of software, a lot of people start going and trying to change the software like Windows on their PC, but if you're hardwired with that threat, good luck. Okay, your hardwiring will always overtake your software. Okay, once you've done the internal work and you've got your why, you've prioritized it, okay, you've reduced your threat, start looking at ways that you can incorporate based on your current lifestyle. Again, it's about keeping down the levels of threat. Start asking, how can I have the extra time? I did this with a lady once in a gym that I worked at. She used to make 5-6 cups of tea and coffee a day. Obviously changed that for the fruit herbal beverages. Once we'd done that, what we looked at is, while the kettle's boiling, what can we do? You know, doing 6 cups, 2 of them were at work, so while she was at work she couldn't very well be doing squats and push-ups. However, what she could be doing is stretching. She had really tight quads on the front of her legs, so every time she was boiling the kettle at work, it was a habit now. Okay, bang, stretch her quads, stretch her quads. Eventually it just got to the point where she didn't even think about it. Every time at home, you know, 30 seconds of push-ups, 30 seconds of squats each time the kettle boils for a minute. That's 4 times a day. You know, over a week. Now add that over a year, X amount of thousands of squats and push-ups every single year. Do you think your body, your physical health, and also your mental and emotional health would be completely different doing that many push-ups and squats in a year, as an example, if that's not threatening to you? Yeah. Also, about your workouts themselves, you know, does you fill you with dread and fear, you know, having to go to the gym for an hour or so at a time? Well, what about if you broke it down into 4 15-minute shorter workouts over a day, or even just started with one shorter, more intense workout? You know, what ways are there? Or even 5 minutes. I was showing someone a 4-minute workout the other day. 4 minutes. You're telling me you cannot find 4 minutes where you just don't do anything? You know, get off Facebook. I'm sure the games are brilliant, but actually, again, once you've got that prioritization, excuse me, you know, is that Facebook game so brilliant? You know, do that 4-minute workout. Just change something. But instead of actually doing it that way, you know, just look at ways and be brutally honest with yourself. You know, do you actually use your time effectively? Now, I use the word effectively quite simply because effectiveness is literally, does it give you the return on investment that you want? You know, these days we're so concerned with efficiency, and what that means is getting a return on investment with minimal input. You know, so getting the best return for the minimal amount of effort in. There is not a problem with that, as long as your effectiveness is there first. Does it give you the result you want? If the answer to that is no, change the effectiveness first, then look at becoming more efficient. There you go. That's David Elcoate from DevonPersonalTrainer.com, just answering a quick rant, more than likely, about time and working out. Thanks very much.